See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
A midweek edition of Russo and Rizzo right here on ESPN 106.3. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Colin Russo with you with Mike Rizzo and Christian Catt. Wednesday, July the 9th, 2025. Next 2 hours right here on ESPN 106.3. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. A quiet time in the sports period, in the sports world, but we got you covered as we got a little Ask the AD with Chris Swager, the Kaiser University Athletic Director, coming up a little later, next segment. Top draft picks in NFL history, a great list on yahoosports.com. Came out just about a day ago, and we want to dive into that. A lot more to do, a lot of fun to be had. We're streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. So check us out there, and also check us out on podcasts at Russo and Rizzo, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. How are you, Mike? How is everything today?
It was great. It was great. Everything's going great. Christian and I had a great time out on the golf course. We got a lot of. Go ahead.
How'd that go?
We had a great time, and we met two great guys who were great. You know, they were very understanding of my position on the course. So let's just put it that way. But Christian and I are not. Help me out. What have you been saying, Christian? You've been saying we're not. I need the phrase.
Everyone has signed an NDA that was at that golf course this morning. And the contents of those 18 holes of golf have been sealed in a manila envelope that will not be unsealed.
Thank you, Christian.
Did you keep score? Did you keep score?
That's my official statement.
I've got the score.
That's my official statement.
So you kept score, but you're not sharing it with anybody, protecting you for no reason. You're not going to be protected at this golf tournament you're playing in a
No,
week and a half.
at the Canterbury Open, I am not going to be protected.
There.
But listen, while you're hiking the beautiful mountains of Machu Picchu, I'm going to be at the golf course fixing my swing.
All right, so we got some work to do.
Got some. How long do you have? No, but we certainly will not be talking about that. We are sworn to secrecy. But yes, Christian will share the score with you during the break.
Because you know what? Rizzo, though his game might need some improvement, he kept score for every hole. He did. So I do have the score in front of me right now. And Colin, I'll let you guess what the score was, and I'll pop my camera on, and then you'll just see my face to see whether or not you think close, far away, what you think.
Rizzo shot a 115.
That's all you got. That's all I got for you.
All right. Wow, you didn't give me anything there.
No.
All right, that's fine. We'll have to move on. We'll get a whole rundown eventually when Mike gets a little bit more acclimated back on the golf course. Wimbledon's going on ESPN. You get the semifinals coming up on Friday, the final on Sunday. But back in studio, I'm up north. Mike is down south at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Yahoo Sports had a great article come out talking about the most valuable draft picks, talking about best value in terms of NFL draft picks. Let's say the last 25 years was the threshold. Basically, this century was the threshold that we were given because you want to start with the Brady draft, which was, of course, 2000, and then you go onward and forward from there. 25 players were listed by Frank Schwab, a senior writer at Yahoo Sports. Let's get this out of the way. Tom Brady's number one. Yeah. Let's get that out of the way. 6th-round pick, 199th overall. The amount of success that he had for the New England Patriots, number one. Clear cut. I'm gonna read to you the top 10, and I think we're going to go from there, just so we can get a sense of, I guess, the level of criteria that Frank went with. And I'm curious on everybody's thoughts here. So Brady's number one. No question there. Fine. Number 2 is Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, who was Mr. Irrelevant, 7th-round pick in 2022, 262 overall. Number 3 is Jalen Hurts. 2020 was a 2nd-round pick, 53rd overall. Number 3 overall. Aaron Rodgers is 4th, who was, of course, a 1st-round pick, fell in the 2005 draft, 24th overall. Antonio Brown was 5th, who was a 6th-round pick. Puka Nacua current wide receiver for the Rams, 5th-round pick in 2023. Patrick Mahomes, 2017 first round, 10th overall. Lamar Jackson, 2018 first round, 32nd overall, last pick of the first round. Jason Kelsey, who was a 6th-round pick in 2011, 191st overall. And then Richard Sherman, who is a 5th-round pick, 154th overall to the Seattle Seahawks, rounds out the top 10. Number 11 is Gronkowski. Mike, your initial reaction to this?
Well,
it seems like the criteria, Purdy number 2, will immediately take a left turn.
That's crazy.
Am I wrong there?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. The criteria here is the bargain, right? I mean, Tom Brady, I think, is the best of both worlds. He turned into the best quarterback we've ever seen, and he was a 6th-round draft pick. Brock Purdy being 2 is meaning that this guy believes they drafted their franchise quarterback in the 7th round. And not only this man who wrote the article, but also the 49ers who gave him the huge contract in the offseason. So let's get that out of the way. This guy is thinking where these guys are selected, that matters. So like Jalen Hurts being 3, granted he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but 53rd overall, I probably would put Aaron Rodgers number 2. I probably would put Rodgers number 2. And
Didn't
then,
need a quarterback. They took a flyer on him,
right.
let him sit.
And I mean, you remember the situation with him sitting in the green room. I would probably put Mahomes 3, right? 10 overall. I feel like Mahomes, the story wasn't where Mahomes got drafted. It was him sitting out a year and then kind of figuring things out after Alex Smith and the Kansas City Chiefs decided to move on from him. But I would have those 3 quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes. Kyle, it's a quarterback league, bud. I mean, I'll listen to Jalen Hurts, maybe number 5. I'll maybe listen to Brock Purdy more towards the 15 range. But for Purdy to be number 2 on this list is insane. And can we pump the brakes on Bo Nix a little bit? 25, Colin. He's got Kirk Cousins, 24.
That's a little early.
What in the hell is Brock Purdy? And listen, I know Kirk Cousins, nonetheless, probably a proven veteran that's going to be remembered as a quarterback that's been able to throw for a lot of yards and pad some stats. But he hadn't won anything a note either. So I got a lot of things I disagree with on this list, but it seems like that he values the bargain where these guys were taken. And as I mentioned, Brady, the perfect mix of a great pick and a bargain.
Well, you're trying to do the best of both worlds. You can't just grade it all on whether they've won titles or not, because a grand total of 2 teams have won the majority of the titles since 2000.
Kyle Allen should be higher. Sorry, Allen should be higher on this list. 16, Josh Allen. 16. We have Lamar Jackson at 8 and Josh Allen is at 16.
Lamar Jackson was a better value. It was the same draft. Lamar Jackson was a better value pick.
I guess I nonetheless, I don't want to say I don't care where they were selected. It's like,
well, that's part of it. That's why Brady was an all-time great draft pick. That's why Purdy's number 2. He's got to consider the value of where they were selected and their impact. And this should be the criteria. It should be, have they won games? Have they made the team successful? Have they been proven to be excellent value in terms of where they were drafted and what they became or what they are? And then on top of that, you got to see if it's an important position. So those are the 3, in my eyes, the 3 criteria. I agree with you. I think the first 3, I would put Mahomes 2, because I would put those are the 3 most important picks to those 3 franchises, 3 of the most successful franchises this century.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers was maybe Packers were not, they're only winning 1. You might put the Steelers there. But point being is the Chiefs and the Patriots have been the 2 most successful teams overall, at least the 2 most successful portions that we've seen since 2000. The 2 most important picks are the 2 quarterbacks for those very teams. The Chiefs were the Ravens of the NFL before they got Mahomes in there. Mm-hmm. And Reed was somebody who struggled in a big game until Mahomes got there. So that was a very important pick comparatively to where it was. They traded up for him. Trubisky went before him. 10th overall, you're talking about value. You're talking about a guy who's probably, if not 1 or 2, they're talking about the 2 best quarterbacks to ever play football. Coming at 10th overall or 6th round, I think that's negligible at that point.
I guess this is my fault too. When I look at lists like these, I just immediately go to the quarterbacks. Is that unfair?
Well,
I immediately go to the quarterback.
I would put Antonio Brown number 4. Antonio Brown was a 6th round pick, and for my standard, he's a top 5 receiver to ever play football.
Kyle, I agree. He terrorized my football team in the AFC North, And
he's a sixth-round pick. If it wasn't for Brady, he'd be the best sixth-round pick ever.
You statistically look at his 10-year run. Let's call it a 10-year run that he had with the Steelers, because that's really what it was. I believe he won a championship with Tampa Bay, or did he run off the field? I can't remember when he just quit on the team.
He won a title with Tampa Bay.
Okay, so you didn't win anything in Pittsburgh, but you stat padded, and then you go and you win a championship with Tom Brady. It's a really good career. Now, I know Antonio Brown's been
stat padded is probably not the right word. I mean, he was a good player on a good team, but
sure.
I understand what you're saying.
I know Antonio Brown, and I'll finish with this about Brown. Not in the news for the best things lately, So, I feel like when we remember Antonio Brown, I'll probably remember him for being the great player, not everything that happened afterwards.
So, you know who I would put? See, we haven't gotten to Hurts yet. Number 4, Antonio Brown. Where I'd put number 5, I'm not going to go Hurts. I would go Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is 13th on this list. He was a third-round pick by the Seattle Seahawks, 75th overall. So Russell Wilson, to me, I feel like should be much higher on this list considering the amount of success. You could say it was the defense, but he got the 2 straight, and they haven't been back since.
Yep.
So that from that perspective, I would say Russell Wilson should be much, much higher.
And Colin, I think Wilson, unlike Jalen Hurts, and I know we need to start putting respect on him, but I still see it this way. Jalen Hurts, I don't think is the floor raiser that Russ was in his prime. Do we agree with this? I think Russ made people better around him.
But here's the thing. The Eagles won a Super Bowl 7 years ago. They did it without Jalen Hurts. So that's why I can't run away from Jalen Hurts, run home with Jalen Hurts here.
But let's remember, Matt, they drafted Russ out of Wisconsin in the 3rd or 4th round.
It was 3rd round.
Thank you. 3rd round, okay? They signed Matt Flynn to a big deal. They basically said, yeah, kick rocks, Matt Flynn. Here's the guaranteed money. We're going with this guy. And that's when Russell Wilson really became one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for probably 8 years, right? The 8-year, 7-year, 8-year run.
10 years, yeah, really, essentially, until he left.
That him and Carroll had. And what's the correlation here is the quarterback and head coach relationship. The quarterback, now, Aaron Rodgers, I feel like him and McCarthy had it for a couple of years. They had a falling out, but let's exclude Rodgers because you got Mahomes, who's been with Reed. You had Wilson, whose best days were with Pete Carroll. You had Tom Brady, whose obviously glory days were Bill Belichick. Fair play to Bruce Arians and company in Tampa Bay. But Kyle, great head coaches, great quarterbacks. I feel like they're one and the same. It's the chicken or the egg, right?
I tend to agree. Now, we can't just leave it all to quarterbacks because you got to consider other players. That's why I put Antonio Brown up there. I'd put Justin Jefferson top 10 based on what the pedigree of his career that he's building so far, and the fact that Jalen Reagor was picked 2 picks before him.
So you're a mixed bag, Kyle. You're a mixed bag of great player, bargain.
Yeah, I'm not going to favor. Puka Nacua should be nowhere near the top 10. He's number 6. He should be nowhere near the top 10.
Can he play 4 more years and be at a high level?
And he's been a good playoff player in the short period of time that we've seen him. I love Puka. I would take him top 5 or 6 on my team tomorrow. But you got to think importance in terms of body of work thus far. So for me, I would put and also Gronkowski. Gronkowski is 11 right now. He was a 2nd-round pick, 2010. Gronkowski should be top 7, period. Gronkowski is the best player to ever play his position as a 2nd-round pick who was an excellent postseason player.
Yeah,
I would put him very much near the upper echelon of players in terms of value draft picks.
Gronk over
100%.
Gronk over Kelsey?
It's close.
It's tough, man.
Gronk won more.
It's tough.
And Gronk was consistently – the thing is, Kelsey might be a little bit better of a third – and Kelsey was a 3rd-rounder compared to a 2nd-rounder. But Kelsey, I would take Gronk. Gronk's a better all-around tight end than Travis Kelsey is. That's the way I'd view it.
I'll take Kelsey because I think the body of work for how long he's done it. Is that fair? From 2013 to 2025?
Do you think so?
I think so. I mean, I'd have to go and listen.
If you're drafting a tight end, though, I'm taking Gronkowski tomorrow. That's where I sit.
I just think
Gronkowski's a better tight end than he is. He's a better player.
Blocking,
he does
you're
everything.
talking about all around.
He's dominant.
Travis isn't bad when it comes to blocking, but I understand the point. I think, Gronk drafted 2010. When did he hang it up? 2-3 years ago? 3 years ago?
Yeah, 2021, maybe 22.
So, I guess I'm splitting hairs here because Kelsey, 2013, it's now 2025, similar career. I had to go back and look at the numbers, but I just feel like Gronk was the ultimate red zone threat. I feel like Kelsey is, when the ball's in your own field, Kelsey's going to be wide butt open, sitting in the middle of the field for 35 yards more often than Gronk. I think Gronk is the more big play touchdown guy. I think Kelsey's more of this safety valve that we've seen from Mahomes for years. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. But, I mean, for me, I'm viewing this as in who I'd rather have, who is a more impactful player. I would say Gronkowski is as good of a he's the best tight end in the history of the NFL. He is. He's better than what Kelsey does. Kelsey is a great offensive player. Nobody is denying that. But as a football player, Gronkowski was a machine. He didn't stop. He was the one conduit that never left Brady in those years. You know, Edelman was there, yes, but it was Gronkowski that was the ultimate safety blanket, and they won a whole lot more than what Kelsey and Mahomes have done.
So you'd put him. All right. So you're talking about we're talking about great tight ends here. Gates and Gonzalez. You'd have Gronk higher than both of them.
Well, Gates was you're talking about all time tight ends. Gates was undrafted.
Just all time tight ends at this point. That's where I'm going because
not even a question.
Okay.
Not even a question.
Okay.
I don't even consider it. I really don't. Gronk, and he was a second round pick, good value. I mean, I guess it's around where tight ends usually go, but I mean, and I remember coming in, he had injuries coming in out of Arizona State, wherever he was, but he was the ultimate dominant force. Kelsey is a little bit more savvy, but that's why I'd put Gronk. And I know it's not a sexy position,
right? But
there's a reason why Jason Kelsey is high up on the list because of where you got him and what he was able to do. Jason Kelsey's the first ballot Hall of Famer. You got him in the 6th round. Mm-hmm. He's got to be up there.
Now, Kelsey's a couple of yards short from the most receiving yards by a tight end, I believe. I think Gates has 11,800. Maybe these are updated.
Kelsey has got.
Did he break it?
In terms of postseason, he's like an 100-yard per game receiver in the postseason.
Like, I guess we're splitting hairs here. I guess it's like personal preference, but like I don't know. I feel like, God, man, Kelsey, it's like Denny's. He's always open, you know. And I know Gronk and the threat that he poses and what he's able to. Colin, there's no better red zone target than Gronkowski, possibly in the history of the league. I understand all that. I just feel like full frame body of work. 100 yards on the field, Kelsey, I feel like, is going to be making more plays. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking. Maybe I'm going too
You're talking
deep
about him like he's a receiver. He's a tight end. You got to think about everything.
I know. I guess that's what. Maybe that's the point I'm trying to make. Kelsey was like more of a receiver than a tight end. He is a receiver. Yeah.
That's what he is.
He's way more of a receiver than a tight end.
I don't even think he'd deny it if you asked him. Yeah. I don't even think he'd deny it.
Yep.
Gronkowski was an all-around feast of a player. Best coaches in the league, given both options, I think they would. I would imagine they'd lean Gronkowski just because he does more.
Colin, that Charger team quickly on Gates, dude, I still can't believe that San Diego Charger team never won anything with like Vincent Jackson, Phil Rivers, Antonio Gates, LaDainian Tomlinson, Darren Sproles. I mean, dude, down the list.
Rivers was terrible in a big game. That was it.
15.
Bad in a big game.
They won like 14, 15 games in a 16-game season, and they would lose early in the playoffs every single year. Every single year.
Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, the most valuable draft picks of all time. Brady's obviously number 1. You know, where Yahoo Sports has Puka Nacua at number 6, I would move Russell Wilson up on that list, and I would put Gronkowski higher, and I'd put Antonio Brown near the top of the list. It's Mahomes, it's Brady, and then you could split hairs on who the rest is. Aaron Rodgers, they didn't need a quarterback. They got him, and you know the career that he had. But in terms of most valuable draft picks, in terms of where you got them, I also don't think it's unfair. We haven't talked about it too much. Brock Purdy needs to be top 10. Needs to be top 10. Just about the amount of postseason success that he has had in a short amount of time, just on his rookie contract. Has to. I know it's short, give him time, but he's Mr. Irrelevant. That's the definition of ultimate value. Now, if you want to include the undrafted and get Kurt Warner in there and get all those guys, fine. But in terms of actual value draft pick, you got to go Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat. We'll do a little Ask the AD with good friend of show, Mr. Chris Swager, on the flip side. First, go start your day with a victory over at F45 locations in downtown West Palm Beach and Wellington. F45, you show up, it's class style, 45 minutes in and out, 2 coaches on site making sure you're doing everything properly. And you show up, you kind of just turn your brain off, get a sweat going, and then all of a sudden when the 45 minutes are up, you get a full sweat, heart rate's up, you're feeling good about the rest of your day. Or if it's at the end of the day, they get classes in the evening as well. A bunch of like-minded fitness individuals who are just trying to get into better shape, just trying to feel good about their day. Loud music, fun vibes, great people. F45, get your first 3 classes today for just $30. Train for something like High Rocks. You name it, they got it. Check out F45 downtown West Palm Beach on Instagram today. Ask the AD with Chris Swager coming up next on Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. 2 of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
Evan Cohen here, reminding you that ESPN 106.3 is the official home for Inter Miami Soccer. Tonight, the GOAT hits the road. Messi and Inter Miami roll into New England to face the Revolution. Don't miss a minute. Coverage starts at 7 here on ESPN 106.3.
Wing Wednesday. Brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings. 30 bold flavors, ice-cold beer, handcrafted cocktails. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE. In office, West Palm Beach.
Level up your summer projects with 4th of July savings on top brand cordless power tools from the Home Depot. Whether you're working on a fence, a planter box, or a new workbench, get the power and runtime you need with the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2 toolkit from the Home Depot for only $99, was $139. Get 4th of July savings on the cordless power you need to make summer projects easier than ever. Right now at the Home Depot.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Russo and Rizzo going on here on ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat. Mike Rizzo and Christian Cat are live at the City Play Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. I am up north. We got a special guest here, going to be having a lot of fun. But first, got to tell you, you heard it, the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. If you've been in a car accident, truck accident, suffered a slip and fall, my friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys, they're the type to fight for you. I know they got my back. They can get your back, too. They don't even charge you unless you win. They work tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation that you deserve. Don't settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine today, because that's the Anajar and Levine difference. All it takes, one phone call. Take back control of your life. Don't wait. Call for the free consultation today. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Take back control now with Anajar and Levine. Let's have some fun here with good friend of program. He runs Kaiser University Athletic Department. It is Chris Swagger. Let's do a little Ask the AD.
It's time to ask the AD. Kaiser University Athletic Director Chris Swagger joins Russo and Rizzo to talk all things college sports, the latest on Kaiser athletics and more. Ask the AD is presented by Kaiser Seahawks Athletics. Learn more at kuseahawks.com.
Kaiser University Athletic Director Chris Swagger. Chris, if you're watching on the YouTube stream at ESPN West Palm on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X, you took my seat.
Yeah.
You took my chair.
Yeah.
Chris, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing good. I had to adjust it, pull it down a little bit because I guess.
No, that's not about me. That's about
you sit way high, so.
That's not true. That's not true. You're not that much tall. I think you might be you have like an inch or two on me. You're not that much taller than me. Oh, you give it a break.
Oh, come on.
What are you, 6'2"?
About
like
6'3".
What are you, like 5'10"?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Shots
I'm
fired.
6 foot on my. I'm 6'1" on my license.
Here we
I'm
go.
6 foot.
Here we go. Was that what you were listed at in basketball? Give a couple inches. So.
All that. My driver's license, a government ID, my friend.
That you
I
put
don't
the
know what
height
you're
down.
yelling
Okay,
at.
I get it. All right.
Chris, how are you today? What's been going on with Kaiser now that we're in the thick of summer?
Doing good. Getting ready for fall sports to return. Kind of finalizing some schedules. Getting ready to put our seat map and season tickets out here very soon. So we'll put something on social media, let you guys know, so football fans can buy season tickets, soccer, volleyball. So we're excited. We're rolling, signing some last-second kids, getting them enrolled, and getting ready for an amazing fall.
Amazing fall indeed. All right, Chris, I want a couple things I want to talk about. Number one, the NBA draft. We talked about it about 2 weeks ago, but I was thinking about the perspective about donors and college sports. Over July 4th weekend, I was talking to a lot of people who are involved on the donor side of Villanova. And Villanova, especially the athletics, those donors have a lot of say. And I know NAIA, it's a little different, but you have a perspective of how this is viewed amongst coaches, relationship with the athletic departments and the people that run the show and the whole thing. Let's give an example. Rutgers basketball. Coach Steve Peichel, he had 2 players on the team last year, Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper, who, on the basketball team, 2 top 5 picks in the NBA draft. World-renowned prospects. They were the top 2 players essentially the top 2 of the top 3 in the class, and they didn't do anything all year. To me, I don't want to throw around the word fireable, but that comes close. And I'm curious because, number one, he was able to get those players, probably with a lot of money. And number 2, sticking around, I'm under the assumption that it's because the athletic department or the donors really like the coaches or Coach Peichel. Your perspective on the relationship now that NIL is rampant. Donors, coaches, is it out of control? Does it go team by team? What's your sort of trained eye view on that?
Well, first of all, I think you're being a little bit hard on Coach Peichel. I mean, I looked at his bio here, and he's probably one of the more successful coaches they've had there. I think it all determines on what you're gauging success as, right? So where would you think Rutgers is going to finish? Let me ask you that question first.
With the 2 players that are going to finish top 5 in the NBA draft, I anticipate a tournament appearance.
Agreed.
Okay. So he's made 2 tournament appearances since he's been there.
Yes.
And I think he was the first one to go back to back since
1970.
It was
3-4 years ago.
Yeah. So he's gained some equity there. I think the game has changed as far as now, and this is why I think you see general managers, to be honest, because it started to change to where instead of coaches focusing on winning games, developing players, building the program, it started to turn into fundraising, dealing with donors, kind of generating the funds needed to get the players. So now you start to see the general managers come in, and they start to kind of play that middleman. so the coaches can get back to what it is that they're supposed to be doing. Now, I still think you lose control, obviously, because people are renegotiating contracts, so to speak. And obviously everything's going to change again as we kind of move forward with this new era. But I definitely think there's a premium. I just got back from NACTA, and the biggest thing there was, a lot of revenue generation. So there's always like key things that I think athletic departments are focused on. And now the big one is, how are we going to maximize our revenue? How are we going to take the brand to make more money to reinvest it back in? So, I would say in today's game, generating revenue for coaches is almost as important in wins in some cases, because I think people look at it as, if you can generate the revenue, then you can get the players to win the games.
And Kyle, I think at this point, he went in the wrong direction. The direction isn't one and dones anymore, like it was with Coach K and Coach Cal for a decade.
Right.
Look at the Florida team that won this past year. Look at your UConn Huskies, who went back-to-back the year before. Older rosters, guys who have been together, and a system. So, granted, does the transfer portal help? Yeah. Is it out of control? Right. Absolutely. But I like what you said there about it's basically fundraising. Couldn't agree more.
Right.
Hold on. Let's add to this. A tournament appearance is all I'm asking for. And I'm just bringing up Rutgers because it was fresh in my head because of the NBA draft.
And you're right. And Kyle, I go back to him putting his eggs in the wrong basket. He put his eggs in the one and done. And what got Rutgers in the tournament the last 2 years? They had veteran rosters. They had veteran players. Amori transferred. The guy who was there for 3 years wasn't playing on the team this past year. So that's where I think things went wrong. But Colin, listen. This is it's a cutthroat business. When you have the talent and you have the money to go out and get these guys and you don't have results, I'm sitting on the fence here. I agree.
Boosters have always been involved. Let's not act like 20, 30 years ago there wasn't booster involvement as far as who gets hired, who gets fired, and how that happens. It's just more transparent now, right? So I think the difference now is kind of who those people are. Their name could be out there a little bit more. Do they have a say? Yes. But again, I think part of it too is, what is the expectation? Is Rutgers trying to build the brand? We're talking about Rutgers right now. At the end of the day, we're talking about him. He brought in 2 top players. We're talking about the brand. It's increasing it. So, yes, youth. I don't disagree going to the tournament's big, but I also think for each individual program, they might have different goals and objectives that he may have met some of those, I guess is what I'm saying.
Chris Wager, the Kaiser University athletic director, with us now. You said something interesting. You're talking about building a brand. So I guess maybe it's an alignment of what they're going for. Instead of Rutgers trying to be, all right, well, we're raising all this money. Those 2 guys, I know Dylan Harper has connections to the program, but we didn't get these guys for cheap. They didn't come on a pay cut. Let's just put it that way. So they came to our school, and we're not trying to put together a roster to, make a deep tourney run. Maybe that's the cherry on top. But ultimately, we're trying to show that we could develop NBA draft talent, and maybe the donors are, all right, well, we want NBA alumni. We don't think we have enough. Go get some that are going to develop for the next level, and whatever you do on the court, I guess, is sort of second class to that. Is that more of what we're talking about?
Yeah, or the strategy could be, I got 2, I need 3, I need more money.
So it's a leverage strategy.
Look at what Calipari back when he was in Kentucky. For all the people they had, the talent, the draft picks, I don't even know off the top of my head how many titles they won or how many.
It was just one. It was 2012 AD Kid Gilchrist.
Yeah,
and
so
company.
they got but again they got talent. They're in the news. So I don't know what the strategy there is, but to answer your first question, it is the booster alignment is huge because again now it is about generating that revenue, and some of that is directly through boosters. Some of it's leveraging different things on campus and things like that. But that's the name of the game right now. You have to have the money to buy the players. Or generate the revenue.
Is it too out of control now? Are donors and boosters and the people with the money that actually can make their money seen, not just putting their name on a door and at the practice facility, instead that they have an actual impact in terms of who's going to be on the court? I know this necessarily isn't foreign to college sports, but all of a sudden they could. The St. John's vitamin water guy who puts in $1 billion a year into the program. He could other than Patino, is there an argument to be made that he probably has as much say in terms of where he allocates his money, unless he's very trustworthy with that? You can make the argument that he's the one with the deep pockets. Therefore, if I want this to happen, this could happen. Is that?
Yeah, but I'm saying I think that's always been the case. I don't think that's different. I think you just know who that guy is now. But I think that's always been the way it's kind of gone down at certain times.
Okay.
Even like on the hush hush, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you've always had. I mean, the money went to different spots, whether that be to a new locker room, new courts, name on the building, travel.
I see.
Coaches, endowed salaries. I mean, I think now it's just, you see where the money's going. Where I think the money's always been there. It's just it wasn't transparent as to what it was going to.
Chris, I want to kind of switch gears a little bit and get your thoughts on something else that I guess sort of plays into the idea of recruiting the younger player nowadays, whether it's freshmen or people out of prep schools or something like that. I was talking with head coach Chris Coquel of the Fort Pierce Athletic Academy, which is a gap year program right here in South Florida. And a gap year program, a gap year school is basically somebody who, instead of after high school playing sports, they're trying to, go to the school, play, get film, send it out to coaches, and they can essentially leave whenever they want. It's almost like it's a train stop. And all right, if they have a good 3 games, then Western Kentucky comes calling. They could get on a plane and go over to go play with Western Kentucky tomorrow. It's a gap year school. It's not necessarily something that's foreign. We've seen it before in basketball. A lot of guys just do it because they need extra time, whatever it may be. I'm curious. You're the athletic director of an NAIA school that has all these athletic programs. These gap year schools, do you necessarily work with them? Is it almost a competitor for the type of player that you're looking for? Or
no, I mean, they've been around. There's a bunch of them. I mean, like you mentioned.
There's a bunch in the area.
Yeah, predominantly it's always been basketball, although there's some, I think, VMI for football, and there's some others. IMG has some prep academies. I think Montverde has some in addition to high school. So it's not new. We work with them with some kids. I mean, we've gotten some, but for the most part, you're going there, whether it's GPA. I mean, in the past, it was usually grades, development, switch of positions. You're moving on. You didn't get recruited to where you want. The biggest thing we see right now is junior college kids. I mean, there is a lot of talent in junior college. If you come out to Kaiser games in the fall or spring or what, you're going to see a ton of kids that have come in from junior colleges that are very, very talented and that were overlooked, and they get a chance with us to play. And that's a market that's definitely opened up for us, probably Division IIs and some others, because they're getting overlooked right now.
And I want to apologize to Chris, Colin, because you were out yesterday. And I said, give me the best teams in the state of Florida, and I left off our Kaiser Seahawks.
Yeah, he's right up there with Theo disrespecting Kaiser.
I am not.
Wow.
I am
so
not.
Did you?
I'm not one of the favorites.
Up to Chris Swager in the break?
Christian and I don't want to actually. No, this was my idea. I basically said out of Florida State, Florida, and Miami, who has the best chance of making the playoff and who's the best team in Florida off of that. And I forgot to mention our Kaiser Seahawks because they make the playoffs every year. They damn near make the championship every single year now. So I wanted to personally apologize to Chris now that I had him here in studio. So Chris,
what's your reaction?
I apologize.
Kaiser didn't even cross his mind, essentially.
Yeah, I'm glad that the play-by-play or the color commentator from last year remembered that there was a football team in town, so that was great.
Down the street.
The problem too is the question was
from my house, Colin.
The question was posed pretty bad yesterday. It started as the best college football team in Florida, and then it transitioned to best chance to make the playoffs.
So you know how these things go.
Yeah, now
we know how these ideas go. It's all right. Well, what are the criteria? All right, criteria to make the playoff. And now Chris, he did manage to answer reluctantly. He did manage to answer. The question of the 3, Colin, of Florida State, Florida, and Miami. And, Chris, I want you to tell Colin, because I haven't heard Colin's opinion on this either. Do you need the question one more time, Colin, or are you good?
No.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
So I said, as much as it pains me to say this, I'd probably say Florida would have the best chance to make the playoffs. 2 reasons. One, just the fact that they're SEC. So I think they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. And if they do slip up, they've got the games to make up for it. And then the other, I would say they have the most dynamic quarterback. So, I mean, anytime you've got – and again, I'm not bashing Miami because I went to Florida State, but I will say we had Jordan Travis at Florida State, dynamic quarterback. I think one of the things that I would caution any fan base on is when you have a dynamic player, especially at the quarterback position, analyzing and evaluating your team is tough because when that kid leaves, there's a lot of games that those people will win. Obviously, Cam Ward last year that – you can't really duplicate. You just can't throw any quarterback in there and get that same production. There are things that Cam Ward could do, Jordan Travis could do, Michael Vick when he played, that just you can't replicate. And to me, again, I watched football. I watched Miami last year. I think he got them 2 wins last year that they probably wouldn't have had with another 5-star quarterback. just his elusiveness, his playmaking ability, just who he was. So to me, Lagway's that guy. I mean, again, as much as it pains me, he's of the group. I think he's the best guy. He's dynamic. He's probably good for a game or two. And again, I think you get the benefit of the doubt in the SEC. You can probably have, I mean, depending on who you lose to, 3 losses. You might even be able to get in with 4.
So here's, Colin, I'm going to go and give you why I think it's Miami, because Florida, listen to the schedule. At LSU, at the U, home versus Texas, at Kyle Field and A&M, at Ole Miss, and then the end of the year, home against Tennessee and Florida State. I mean, Kyle, the SEC is going to be very competitive. You know it's going to be the teams that are probably going to get in are going to be the 2 lost teams like we saw last year. And then Miami, comparatively, their first game against Notre Dame is tough. I'm not sitting here arguing that Notre Dame's going to be a great football team next year. But their biggest conference games, with all due respect, Chris, at FSU. FSU's probably a 4 or 5 loss team. Home versus Florida. So, they could lose.
Go through their
week
schedule
one.
real quick. Let's see.
So, Chris, they could, in my perspective and Chris Chiquette's perspective, they could lose week 1 to Notre Dame, lose 1 game in the ACC, and be playing for the ACC title game. Home versus Notre Dame, Bethune-Cookman, South Florida, the home game at Hard Rock against Florida, at Florida State, and then the last half of their schedule, home versus Louisville, home versus Stanford, at SMU, home versus Syracuse, home versus NC State, and then at Va-Tech and at Pitt. That schedule, in my opinion, is comparatively a lot easier.
I think you're sleeping on some ACC schools
Listen, the ACC is a 2-team race. Hang on, Kyle.
SMU is going to be solid. Hey, hold on. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah.
SMU is going to be solid.
ACC, I'll end with this. ACC 2-team race. Clemson, who I think get plus 100 to win the conference, is free money right now, and then Miami. Those are the 2 teams that have a realistic chance of winning the ACC.
Chris, do you agree with the fact that Florida State is 3rd in the clubhouse?
It's sad. Listen, I'm not.
Look,
like
I think it's a big year. I mean, I think you can't have less than 8 wins.
Yeah.
8 to 9.
1
you
win
need
to 11
8
to the playoff is ludicrous, just statistically improbable.
No, look, they've hit their recruiting trail hard lately. They got a transfer quarterback in who's got some serious minutes under his belt.
Quit
from
on his
Boston
team
College.
at Boston College.
He quit. You can't like that.
Serious
you can't
minutes.
like
I've
that.
never heard anybody say
I'm
serious
sorry. No,
minutes.
hang on.
Chris, let me correct you.
So you think
program.
Is Carson back throwing yet?
Well, listen.
Listen. I'm not a Miami guy.
I'm just saying.
Chris, Carson Beck has won games. Thomas Castellanos is saying he's one of the best ACC quarterbacks of all time, and this guy walked away from Bill O'Brien in the middle of the year. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but I will agree with Chris. I don't know if football is on the top of Beck's mind. I 100%. I hear Miami fans complain about that.
It's not so much the distraction.
I
He's coming off a major injury.
Right. Well,
And again, I'll go back to last year. Cam Ward at times was running for his life. And he made plays. Great for him.
And they
he was
should
an
have
amazing
lost
player.
the Berkeley game. They dropped the Syracuse game. They should have lost the Va-Tech game.
Right. So could their O-line get better? Yes.
Yeah.
If you put Beck in last year's.
Let's give them credit. They have gotten better.
Well, we think, but you put him on the exact same team last year, and some of those elusive plays aren't happening.
Right.
Is all I'm saying. So, I think it's more than a 3-team race in the ACC. I think you're sleeping on SMU.
Listen, I have that bad taste in my mouth.
Syracuse, Louisville. I'm not saying they're world beaters, but I definitely think they are solid programs.
The reason I'm dismissing SMU, I mean, that was a complete disgrace in the college.
And towards the end of the year,
they did not
when they're going up,
that was a disgrace.
Those games at the end of the year in November, where are they at?
Who are you talking about? SMU?
For Miami. Do they have to go up north?
It's at Virginia Tech and at Pitt. Those are your final 2 games. Home versus Syracuse.
What date is that for the Pitt game?
November 29th. I believe
November 29th.
Is that rivalry week? I believe that's rivalry week, boys.
I'm just saying you can't like going to Boston College in November is not fun.
Their toughest 2 games. And listen, Notre Dame, that's why you schedule the games early. If they lose to Notre Dame, fine. Keep it close. But their toughest games on the schedule at Florida State. And listen, you guys give credit to SMU, fair play to you. I don't at SMU. So those are the 2 games that you really circle. Yeah. And Chris, from everything I heard too at that Hard Rock Stadium, that Florida game is a neutral site. Would you agree? Yeah. I can't speak on it.
But I also think Miami and Florida State both have less room to trip up. They can't lose 2 ACC games.
All right. Kyle, let me press him on.
So if that happens, you're pretty much done at that point. That's the problem. Whereas SEC, they're going to give you more.
Clemson's going to get a bid.
Yeah, but my issue is there's going to be a lot of other SEC teams too that have 3 losses as well. Then we're playing the schedule game and all that, and that turns into a nightmare. Alabama lost that last year. South Carolina lost that last year. So I feel like that's another thing here too. Now, Chris, FSU, Norvell, where are you at with Norvell? Where you at? If he loses 5 games this year, where are you going to be at with Norvell?
So the thing I would say is looking at the totality of his time there, the outlier right now is the good season. And so I'm not saying you make a move or not make a move, but I just think when you're evaluating from when he started now, obviously people are going to say, there was a COVID year in there and then, all these different things. But he's had more – if you take the 1 year away and add up all the other win totals for the others, I'm pretty sure it's pretty close. So I think it's a huge year. I think what Florida State did amazing when the portal first hit is they hit on guys, they hit the portal. I think they did the best job in the country really that 1 year. Well, the game has changed a little bit where now more teams are on it. I think maybe they realize the potential there. So it's always like, how much can you adjust, right?
Right.
Coordinators, they've done a great job. They brought in guys with experience.
Malzahn's great. I love Malzahn.
Well, even defensive coordinator they brought in from
Tony Allen, maybe? Yeah, Tony Allen.
Yeah, so they're switching up the defense. They're doing. I mean, I think this is the year where you say you look at the team and say, listen, we spent money on the coordinators. We did get some transfers in. We have some guys, coming back and some freshmen that can be impact players. Stadium should be done, so that'll be great to have a full stadium.
Good news.
Renovations are over. Schedule. I mean, you get Alabama week 1, and you don't know what. So I mean, I think the schedule is favorable for them. So I think there's a lot of things there that, he's done a great job with the culture of the program. I think putting some structure there, changing some stuff up. Now it's, can you continue to build year to year? Right? And then, can you go from, obviously low wins last year, but if you get to 8 or 9, then can you go 9 or 10, and then can you start sustaining that over time? That's what I think people are waiting to see.
And then Kyle, apologies, one more. Home versus Miami. At Clemson. See, Miami avoids Clemson. You guys got to go at Clemson and then at Florida. So Miami home, at Clemson, at Florida. What's the record? What's the record in those 3 games?
What I want it to be? I mean, I think realistically.
What do you think? No, realistic.
This is a team that lost every ACC game they played last year. Can we not
So
act
they're
like
hungry.
they got 2 tough games on the schedule? Like, geez.
These are tough games. That's like
So let me put this.
Alabama, I see this, Chris. Alabama loss, Miami loss, Clemson loss, Florida State loss. That's 4.
No, that's not
4.
You've got 2 rivalry games, and you could argue Clemson is a rivalry game. So there's a big difference there.
Chris, Clemson's returning 13 of their 18 starters who have 200 snaps on the defensive side of the ball and a senior quarterback.
Okay.
Best receiving core in the country outside of Ohio State.
All right,
and where'd they go last year?
If you want to look a little less like Florida State and look a little bit more like Florida, get some VitaCost products. VitaCost! Go get your performance-enhancing supplements today. It's got the sports-certified marketplace that's built for athletes and fitness enthusiasts who like to train hard, who understand the benefits of clean supplementation and nutrition. Doesn't even matter if you're prepping for a triathlon, prepping for a marathon, grinding at the gym, just want to get into better shape. VitaCost is your go-to for leveling up your game. I know without my protein, without my electrolytes, without my creatine, I don't know where I would be in my personal training. Their new sports-certified marketplace, they got over 400 performance-enhancing supplements, all certified, free of banned substances that help you level up your game. Visit VitaCost.com/sport-certified to make your purchase today. And you can get 20% off by just using code ESPN20. That's ESPN20 for 20% off on VitaCost Sports Certified Marketplace. Check it out today and level up your game at VitaCost. Chris, we appreciate it as always. Looking forward to talking again in a couple of weeks. And hopefully the next time we talk, we'll have a little bit of football to preview now that we're inching closer to the season, right?
All right. Talk to you guys
Chris
later.
Swager, the Kaiser University Athletic Director, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Christian Cat, taking a time out here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation. serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I was pretty hungry and looking at a menu when I named my boat Change Your Tuna. The backup names were Trick or Trout, I Salmonly Swear, and, oh, it gets worse, New Squid on the Block. It wasn't my best day.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it. And start with a quote from Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Tina, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Hey, Colin, what's up?
How's the gym?
It's been great. I'm seeing results. My sports-certified Vitacost products have made a world of difference.
Oh, same. Isn't it great? Vitacost is basically the reason I've been able to keep up with Ironman training. Everything you need is in one place for my BCAAs, protein, and electrolytes. Best part, it's all clean and free of banned substances.
Go re-up on your supplements today. Visit Vitacost.com and use code ESPN20 for 20% off. Level up your game with Vitacost.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
I mean, July 9th in South Florida, hurricane season and summer temperatures have both officially arrived. In order to ensure your home stays cool during the summer storms, it's important to protect your AC unit from power surges. During hurricanes and large storms, turn off the power for your AC at the breaker. Before the storms arrive, consider having additional surge protection added to your AC unit. John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing, if you need help to do these things, they got you covered. They've been proudly serving Palm Beach County since 1960. John C. Cassidy's offering $500 new installs, $500 off new installs, and convenient financing options with most monthly payments just $92. So you could get your new units, you could get upgraded units, you could get all protected throughout the summer months here. Visit CassidyAC.com for more information. Cassidy AC, they keep your home cool and comfortable, and they one of their highly trained technicians, even if you don't even know if you need an update, if you don't even know if you need to change things out, you don't even know why your system's not working, one of their highly trained technicians can come into your home. They can perform diagnostic checks, troubleshoot, check the system, make sure you're up to date. Cassidy AC, the locally serviced and produced option right here in Palm Beach County. CassidyAC.com for more information. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, Christian Cat, Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Chris Swager, the Kaiser University Athletic Director, just joined us previously for Kaiser University's Ask the AD. And the funny thing about Chris is he was completely on board with the idea that Florida State was probably third on the totem pole of the major Florida collegiate programs competing for a playoff spot in the NCAA at Division I. And he didn't even try to fight it.
No.
He was just under the impression that Miami was a little phony, which he's probably right. He's probably right.
But
he
at the
is probably
same,
right.
So you're higher on SMU than Miami as of right now. Granted, we haven't.
I mean,
played a
let's
snap,
think about this
Kyle,
for a
but-
second. To dive into it for a sec. They
Hang on,
had
I
Cam
need your
Ward
answer.
last
Sorry,
year.
Kyle, I need your answer too.
It's Florida. It's Florida.
Willie?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Without
a doubt.
Kyle, with that schedule,
The schedule's not as bad as you think.
at
Because
LSU?
let's think about it for a second.
That's the hardest place to play in the country.
LSU and Kyle Field is bad, but they avoid Alabama.
Home
Tennessee
versus
is not,
Texas. That's a
Tennessee is not going to be the same team. Let's call it like we see it from that front. A lot of these teams they got Mississippi State, they got Kentucky on the schedule. They got a couple of the layups they get 2 games. They got 2 games to lose. You're asking them to go 1-2, hopefully 2-1 in that LSU, A&M, Texas slot. If they could go 1-2, then you got to win the Florida State and Miami game, fine. Or if they go 2-1, then you allot yourself a loss in those other 2 spots. That's where Florida's got the maneuverability. They got the most talent on the team. They're an SEC school. I think there's a bias attached to that.
There is.
From the committee, and I don't think that schedule is that awful based on my initial uneducated interpretation of every team in the SEC, because a lot of quarterbacks are missing on a certain number of those teams. They don't have South Carolina, so they don't have Alabama. Because of that, I would say I'm not necessarily too worried about the schedule.
I'm going to put it in perspective too here. Brian Kelly's on thin ice, in my opinion, with being there and not going to the playoff.
And they never win that first game of the season.
Hear me out.
They never win that first game.
Hear me out, though. LSU in the first game of the season has Clemson. So it's at Clemson for LSU. This is week 3 where Florida goes at LSU. Kyle, can you imagine if LSU loses that game at Clemson and then they're playing at home against Florida? Damn near a must-win game at this point in the season. You don't want to be 1-2. That's why
true. They'll be desperate.
It's tough. Listen, that's a tough game. And then I think they have to beat Miami in order to get into the college football playoff.
Absolutely.
They have to beat the Hurricanes if they want to get into the playoff. Kyle, I know it's not a conference game, but I think that's a game that you want to win and that you need to win at that point. Listen, I'm high on Texas. I'm very worried about them coming to Columbus and Arch Manning, the next great thing. So I think Texas, that's probably a loss. At A&M, at Ole Miss, Tennessee, and FSU. It's a rivalry game. We'll give them that. But it's a tough schedule. That's all I'm trying to say, kid. I don't know if they're going to be able to go unscathed with only 2 losses.
Well, the thing is, they don't have to go unscathed to make the playoffs.
2 losses. I'm calling unscathed 2 losses.
And 2 losses, if 3 with a tight one, you never know what the field's going to look like. But and especially with the SEC, maybe a little died down this year. There might be a lot more high-loss teams in the conference. If that's the case, and there's no, the Texas is going to be really good, but we don't know what Georgia's going to look like. So from that perspective, I would say that Florida's first Super Bowl is 3 weeks into the season. That's not LSU's first Super Bowl. LSU usually gets better as the season goes along, and Florida has that first game to maybe surprise them. I know it's on the road. I'm not saying it's winnable. And then, you got to beat Miami's and the Florida States of the world. They got killed by Miami last year. They're going to be motivated as hell to win that game. And then Florida State is Florida State. I still think they're a ways away. I think Thomas Castellanos is going to be going on a trip through Italy by the time we even get to that
Swags
game.
did not have a good answer for Castellanos, brother.
No, sorry. Yeah, he's got a lot of minutes on Boston College. A lot of minutes. What do you mean a lot of minutes? Guy walked away from the team, Christopher. Walked away from the team. Not listening to that. Nonsense. Mike Rizzo's going to be taking the reins the rest of the show with Christian Cat. I got to go catch a plane. But I hope everybody enjoyed the first hour. Second hour of Russo and Rizzo coming up right after the break here on ESPN 106.3.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small, loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom.
Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
Hey, you ready for a stress-free move? Choose Safebound Moving and Storage, Florida's #1 movers. With a solid reputation, we set the standard for excellence. Trust us for local, long-distance, commercial, or luxury moves. We offer over 200,000 square feet of secure storage. We handle everything, so you don't have to. Your possessions will be treated like our own, always in perfect condition. Visit safeboundmoving.com for a free quote. Safe with Safebound. Your move matters.
Don't let the rising temperatures catch you off guard. Hey, it's Colin Russo, and since 1960, John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing has proudly served Palm Beach County, keeping homes cool and comfortable. Now's the time to upgrade your AC with great financing options. Plus, ask about the Cassidy Care Club, providing year-round peace of mind. Cassidy is part of our local community and supports organizations like the YMCA and the Palm Beach Gardens Youth Athletic Association. Keep cool with Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Find out more at CassidyAC.com.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you can drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
All into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Hour number 2, Russo and Rizzo. We are live from the City Place Studios here in downtown West Palm Beach. 888-760-3776 is that number to call on in. Going to hit the 5 at 5 in just a second. We heard from Kaiser AD Chris Swagger in the first hour. We had our fearless captain, Colin Russo, in the first hour as well, but he is catching a flight. He's on his way back to West Palm Beach. We will be seeing him in studio coming up tomorrow. Christian, it's that time where I usually ask you, how are you? But played golf with you for 4.5 hours. I've done a show with you now for about an hour and 7 minutes. You're doing great. I know how you're doing, but I'm going to ask anyway, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and I'm going to put down the gauntlet for our fans that are either listening or watching the show. If you really want Mike Rizzo's final score from today's 18 holes of golf in Stuart, Florida. It's the first time he's played, picked up the clubs in 16 months. This is a guy who grew up on a country club, who grew up playing golf. You got your handicap down to the single digits in your heyday of your golf career.
Correct.
But you went 16 months without playing. Somehow, when you moved to Florida, you played less golf, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. If you call in, I will tell you, but I'm not going to say it on the air.
Appreciate it,
special requests. Someone calls in, I'll tell you on the phone, and that is your reward for being a dedicated fan of the show.
So 888-760-3776. If you want to figure out how bad, I'll at least share that, how bad the golf score was today. Christian, I know we signed a non-disclosure. We're not talking about it. But let's just put it this way. My old man hit me up because I told him, this is how, the reason I'm golfing again is because there's a father-son outing at the country club my father belongs in Cleveland, Canterbury. Jack Nicklaus, by the way, won a major there. It's a very tough track. Christian and I played a pretty tough track today, but the track I'm going to play is tougher than the track I played today. And how I played today, my dad goes, Mike, how'd it go? I texted my dad back. I said, honest to God, Dad, for anyone who saw me on that course, I probably shouldn't leave the apartment today. I
can't show his face in the 561 of the 772.
I go, Dad, I'm like, I am embarrassed to call myself your son. I am embarrassed to call myself a brother of my older brother, Joe. And Christian, God love you, man. You were so... You were with me every step of the way. I was so frustrated. It took me everything not to throw a ball or throw a club today. I'm such a competitive guy. And I'll tell you what, when I had like 3 bad shots in a row, I literally just looked up at the sky and said, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? And the good Lord said, you got to practice and play and play. Christian, golf isn't one of those sports where you could take 16 months off and expect to just get back out there and get back in the saddle. And then to be honest, when I was even in Peoria, I wasn't playing. I probably played 3 times in Peoria. So I've basically gone a full 8 years of just not golfing. That's not, I could count the amount of golf rounds on my hand in about 7 years, which is embarrassing. So this has given me the, I guess, confidence to get back out there on the course. And listen.
Well, the lack thereof, though. You don't feel more confident about your golf game now, God. Do you?
No, but I guess confidence is the wrong word.
You've got the motivation
There
now.
You go. Thank you.
You don't want it to go that way ever again.
Thank you. And I need to spend 3 hours at the range. And maybe I hit up you and Kate Chumsland to take a look at my swing when I'm out there on the range. Now, the good news is my dad is my ultimate coach. If I play with my old man, he'll have me, swinging the ball well. So maybe all I need is to go home and get coached up and around by him before the Canterbury Open.
I'll do you one better. Before you even go back to Ohio, before you even got to face your pops on the golf course, we'll go to the best place to improve your golf game, and that is right down the road at Kaiser University, the Kaiser Golf Coaching Center. That is where we can learn the game of golf inside and out and get you ready for the Canterbury Open.
Agreed.
Is that the name of it? Canterbury.
Canterbury. So Christian, you're a golf guy. Search Jack Nicklaus Canterbury. He won a major there. They played a major on that course. So this isn't it's swanky. It's too swanky for me. I show up and I feel like I'm out of place, even though, we belong there forever. But I still show up there and think I got to turn around once I get into the parking lot. Christian, let's bounce around a bit. By the way, if you still want to call in and find out my awful golf score, 888-760-3776. But let's bounce around a little bit. Let's do a little 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union.
5 topics.
High five.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU athletics. Earn up to $700 per year with boost checking from Flagler Credit Union. Number 1.
Well, it might have been after Independence Day weekend, but the fireworks continued in San Francisco last night. I'll set the stage for you. The San Francisco Giants trailed by 2 in the bottom of the 9th to the Phillies. Runners on the corners, 1 out, up to the plate comes Patrick Bailey. Take it from here, Dave Fleming of the Giants Radio Network.
I'll tell you this about Patrick Bailey. He's having a tough year offensively, but he does have the clutch gene.
3rd, 1 out. Patrick hits a high drive. Deep right center field. This one is off the top of the wall, and it ricochets, and it's rolling on the warning track. 2 runs are in. Bailey coming around 3rd. Patrick Bailey scores! It's an inside the park walk-off home run!
How about that, Riz? A walk-off from down 2 to up 1. Could you think, in sports, of a better ending to a game? I'm actually challenging you here to try to come up with a better scenario.
Game-winning goal in the 98th minute of the 8th minute of extra time. Extra time goals are magic, especially when it's tied. But
I don't think so.
This moment right here, like for everyone who says, "Oh, baseball's boring." First off, I can't stand you. Second off, how do you not hear that and not think, "Wow, that place was electric"? The Giants are having a good year too. Let's give them some credit. They're 51-42 on the year. They're in the last wild card spot in a very competitive NL. This has been a team that has really been trying to get back to relevancy ever since winning those World Series in about the 2010-ish. That was awesome last night. That's why I love baseball. It's like I was at Christian Fultz Parkway is where we grew up playing baseball. It's like we were back at Fultz Parkway. My boy D-Wed, Derek Weddle, he had a walk-off inside the park home run for us, and I'll never forget it. We all celebrated like it was the greatest thing on the planet as 10-year-olds.
I don't think you said extra time goal.
Extra time goals are magic. They're unbelievable, especially
but they're the same thing as goals that happen in the first or second minute. It's a goal.
No.
You don't see an inside the park home run almost ever in your favorite team season, 162 games. You might not see one.
Correct.
This year, next year, the year after that.
And in the MLB, to your point, Christian, in order to get an inside the park home run, you got to have a hell of a bounce from a wall, from the ball. There has to maybe be like an error on the play.
No, there can't be. It wouldn't be an inside the park home run.
But you get there's got to be some sort of crazy thing that happens.
Yes.
Like
it has to be in
the pros are too good. They're too good to have an inside of the park home run to happen. This was electric.
It only happens in certain ballparks.
Right.
It happens disproportionately more in San Francisco because of the weird contours in the wall.
And I was about to say, wicked bounce. This thing took a wicked bounce. And this kid's got wheels. Let's give him some credit. How about the announcer going, he's got the clutch gene. And then him hitting. I mean, that call is top tier. That is a top tier. If from us who are in the business, that's a top tier call there.
But I think the
Loved
magic,
every second of it.
The magic of an inside the park home run is it's a slow burn in terms of a baseball play, because baseball plays normally last 3 to 4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds if you're lucky. Where this one goes, okay, nice. Deep drive to right field, got a chance here. Oh, off the wall, game's not over, not a walk-off home run. Okay, 1 run scores, 2 run scores. All right, he's rounding second. Hell yeah. He's risking it here. There's only 1 out. He's still be in scoring position if he stayed at second. Wait a second. Is he rounding third? Again, less than 2 outs. A sacrifice fly with an S batter wins the games. He does not need to risk it here. And he's doing it. He's going for it against all odds. I think an inside the park home run walk-off, going from losing to winning, not a tie game, losing to winning. You can't match that. It's not a prisoner of the moment decision. I'm telling you, there is not a better ending in sports than that.
Based off of I think the quirkiness of it and you never see it, right? I mean, I'm sure baseball has all their stats going back to the Honus Wagner days, okay? Before that, actually. I'm assuming this was the first walk. This was one of the, walk-off inside the park home run. The last one I could think of, and I promise this isn't me just being a Cleveland man, the Tyler Naquin one, where he slid into home plate and did the rock star against the Toronto Blue Jays. I honestly think that is the last time that was that was a walk-off inside the park home run.
It's a first walk-off. Yep. Yeah, it is. Tyler Naquin in 2016.
Correct, and that was the year.
We see extra time goals all the time.
Yeah, I know. I guess Chris Swager made fun of me of this earlier. Takes me a long roundabout way to get to, the answer sometimes. But nonetheless, probably the more quirkier things you'll ever see on a game winner. I guess listen.
Because equal part quirky effort, because you need to be fast enough, and the perfect storm.
Right. God, there's nothing like a Christian. The last go around on the soccer pitch. The last time you're going to be able to get the ball before that whistle blows and you score. And you know you won the game, and you're celebrating with your mates. Unbelievable feeling.
Number 2.
College Football 26, the video game.
Oh, yeah.
It's out for those that are willing to pay a little bit of extra cash for early access. Rizzo, you're my video game guy.
Yep.
What's the right way to play College Football 26, to approach the game, to get the most amount of joy at a college football video game? Because it's only the second edition of it since, 2014?
Yep. With your friends, Christian. Honestly.
Okay.
Start an online dynasty. My mates and I... My brother's in it, our best friends, my cousin Blake, we're all in this. And last night, Christian, you know what Discord is. We're all in a Discord channel. And on our Xboxes, we're able to stream our games in Discord.
I don't know what that is.
All right, so Discord is basically a place you and I can go to and talk while we're playing the game, while also having the capability of being able to watch something.
Oh.
So, for instance, a couple of my buddies don't have cable. I have YouTube TV. Riz, can you stream this thing? We want to watch with you. Stream the game while we're talking. So I'm watching these sports games with my mates while we're watching in Discord.
Huh.
And Xbox has the capability to stream what you're playing in Discord. So we're an online dynasty, and every single PvP player versus player. So whenever we play each other, we stream them in Discord, and I do the play-by-play.
How about that?
Yeah. So we're having a great time. I'm Florida. My brother's Florida State. My cousin Blake's Miami. Pat is USC. Johnny Vanderwaist is Notre Dame.
So that's the way to do it, is to get everyone together.
And I'm forgetting, two mates who I'm sure they're blowing up our Discord, Discord group chat right now. But regardless, that's how you want to play. You want to play with friends. And Christian, that's how we grew up playing that game. We grew up playing that game in middle school, high school, and when you're that young, that's all you do, right? So it's nostalgic.
Get home, play some Modern Warfare 3.
Exactly. For us, it was Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2, and that was our sports game. We never really played Madden once it went to the 360. Christian, I gamed the hell out of Madden on the PS2. The Xbox. Once that thing went to 360, I've not been a fan of Madden. And 360 was 2 generations ago. And listen, EA, if you're listening, I'm sorry for butchering your product. I love your products. Please consider endorsing us here on Russo and Rizzo. Christian, they added Madden on the bundle for NCAA. That's how you know nobody's buying the game.
Ooh.
That's how you know nobody's buying the game. Correct.
It's like a fortune cookie.
So Christian, $90. They promote it as, was it 80 for early access? It's really like 100 after tax. But it's 100 for Madden and College Football 25. That's how you know no one's playing Madden anymore. And that's how you know College Football 25, this is 26 now, but 25 was such a big hit that we all couldn't wait to put in our $90 and get our dynasties going.
My favorite sports video game outside of Mario Baseball, got to go Madden 09 on the Wii. That I love playing Madden on the Wii.
Don't tell me. Hang on. Don't tell me who's on the cover. Let me try to guess. Michael Vick was 07, 08. Was it Vince Young?
Vince Young was 08.
Okay.
09 was Brett Favre.
Damn it. I was close.
You could use the Wii controller to draw the routes.
Yep.
And we would do that in my friend Shane's basement.
It's awesome.
Until 3 in the morning. Madden 09 on the Wii.
Absolutely.
Number 3.
Now, Christian, I do want to say, college football is my favorite sport, though. So, I'm very biased towards this game. But I promise you, really good gameplay. Really good gameplay comparatively to other games.
I saw that they added into the new edition of the video game. You won't like this, but Michigan, they put Mr. Brightside, the student section, and the fans singing along to Mr. Brightside at the end of, I think, the third quarter.
Is it? Do I think, Michigan hasn't been relevant outside of the 1 year that they happened to win the national championship? Yes. But honestly, God, I love the rivalry of it. I love the student section aspect of it. And I love Ohio State. I love that rivalry, Ohio State and Michigan. Problem is, not so much of a Michigan fan, Christian.
Let's go to number 3.
Number 3.
Where the All-Star game is coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. You got a good home run derby.
Major League Baseball has announced that in the All-Star game, they will implement automatic balls and strikes.
Oh, yes.
ABS. Get used to it, people.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same rules we saw in spring training. It's the same rules we saw in the Florida League, where you have 2 challenges per side. The only people that can challenge whether a strike was called correctly or a ball was called correctly is the pitcher, the batter, and the catcher. And if you challenge it, you tap your head, you catch, hey, that was a strike. Hey, that was a ball. You're wrong, home plate ump. If you get it right, and you're right in reversing the call, you retain your challenge. If you get it wrong, you'll lose it. It will be implemented for the All-Star game, and the reason why is because they're probably going to implement it for the entirety of the 2026 season. Are you ready for the robots to take over, Riz?
Partner, I don't want to step on umpires' toes here. Listen, complete shout-out to the umpires that are out there at kids' ballparks doing Little League and stuff. You were seriously godsends for dealing with some of those parents. On the other aspect of things, because Major League umpires are getting paid a lot of money. And I understand it's a living. I understand it's a profession. That's like someone telling us, Christian, hey, we don't need to listen to you. We could just have a robot deliver the sports news. Okay?
Ooh, they're taking our jobs.
They took our job. And the umpires are probably listening to me and going, they took our jobs. But I tell you this all the time. I tell Colin this all the time. Colin's not necessarily a fan of this. I think you and I are eye-to-eye. Why is it a tight strike zone tonight?
Yes.
Why is the stuff on the outside a strike tonight? No!
Because Billy Joe woke up on the wrong side of the bed. That's why.
Exactly.
Right? This is so subjective when it's not.
I just am...
It's objective. A strike is this, and a ball is this. So let's get it exactly right, because we can get it exactly right, because we could have gotten exactly right going back to 2008.
Right. The strike zone is the strike zone. All right, kid, when you get up there, make sure you choke up on the no, too. He's calling the inside stuff. What? I used to look at my coach and go, what? The hell did you just say to me? No, a strike is a strike and a ball is a ball. I am all for the automated umpires, the robot umps. And listen, if you're an umpire out there and you're yelling, they took our 888-760-3776.
I like it. And before we move on to our next topic of the 5 at 5, I just had to pull this up because it's actual audio from College Football 26, and it is the Michigan fans singing along to one Mr. Brightside in the video game.
We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. They're sitting in a strong position here with the lead. Let's take a look at our game summary. Here comes the quarterback. To see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take.
I refuse. Hang on.
They're doing it while they snap the ball, too.
Christian, I refuse to give that song up to Michigan. I refuse. It's too much of a banger, mate. It's too much of a banger for... What, they started this 2 years ago? No, they finally have people going to their games now?
That was Colin Russo's or what's the song? Karaoke.
Yeah.
When we went after Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium, we went and did karaoke, and that was the song that he went with.
You guys went karaokeing without me.
I know, but
my God.
It was.
I'm heartbroken. I did not know this.
You
How
didn't
did I
know
just
this?
know? How did I just find out about
we
this?
We went out. It's a whole team. You saw Theo Dorsey get wasted. You saw myself sing my heart out to some Fall Out
Theo
Boy.
was drunk. You sang Fall Out Boy. And I missed all of it. Where was I?
You were
Colorado?
at one of the weddings.
Damn it!
I know.
No, darn you, wedding season.
So you don't want to give Mr. Brightside to Michigan?
That's like a 2-year thing. This isn't like Sweet Caroline with the Red Sox. You know what I mean? Like this happened 2 years ago.
We're not giving Sweet Caroline to the Red Sox
Fair enough,
either.
Yankee fan. Fair enough, Yankee fan. Sorry.
Penn State people love Sweet Caroline.
Sorry, it's a Yankee fan and Penn State man. Christian, this is like a recent thing. And listen, Mike Jones, one of our partnership coordinators here at ESPN West Palm, it's a good teammate, good friend of ours. He's a Michigan man, so I'll have to ask him. But I don't know. That's like saying the Buckeyes before we kick off. We do the
Oh yeah, Seven Nation Army.
Yeah, that's like saying. It's like that's like saying that's our correct.
Yeah, that's true. That's everywhere.
That's what I mean. But we've done that for like a decade. I'm not going to claim that. I guess listen, maybe I am just a Michigan hater and I am an Ohio man and a Buckeye. But I don't know, Christian, I'm not giving them Mr. Brightside. So it's one of the all-time greats.
Now, often confused with the song that you're referencing is Zombie Nation, where it's See, we stopped there, but my alma mater continues and goes, "We are Penn State."
Yeah.
Is that Penn State's?
You tell me. I don't know how long. I haven't been paying. Let's put it this way, Christian. Every time I watch a game at that godforsaken stadium, I'm worried about losing. It's funny because, I think we said yesterday, James Franklin's 4-18 against Ohio State. Michigan. Those games are always close. And I'm always biting my. I am scared. Penn State scares me every time they come up on the schedule, and I drive my fellow Buckeye fans nuts.
You haven't lost in 2016.
But it's always a close game. The game is always in the balance in the final 5 minutes. Do we agree on this?
I guess so.
It is always in the balance.
It seems like Penn State scores a garbage time touchdown on the years that they're not very good to make it closer. If you look at the just the score summary every year. And then sometimes they do give them a scare. Last year was a close game.
But Christian, it does my friends' heads in when I give I respect the hell out of Penn State. I think, and listen, we'll talk more about this coming up in the next segment, but I really do think they're a true contender for the title next year and what they're bringing back.
Number 4.
We are less than a week away from the Home Run Derby. We already talked about automatic balls and strikes being implemented in this year's All-Star game. Well, the Home Run Derby is arguably more popular than the actual All-Star game itself. It's like the dunk contest and the NBA All-Star game back in the day. Well, this year's Home Run Derby is going to look a whole lot different. Because did you see the news?
Whoa, hang on. What happened?
There will be no Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso has denied the invitation for the first time in his career. He has been an establishment of the MLB Home Run Derby since his rookie season back in 2018. But Pete Alonso said, no, I'm good. I will not compete in the Home Run Derby. Some other big names that are in the Home Run Derby, O'Neal Cruz from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Team might not be that good, but O'Neal Cruz has a swagger. You might dislike him for a couple of things that he does in the field, maybe some lackadaisical or whatnot.
Great hitter. And when he runs into a ball, what was his exit? He had the highest exit velo on a home run to date this season. Keep going, brother.
O'Neal Cruz is going to be in the Home Run Derby this year. I believe Julio Rodriguez is going to be in the Home Run Derby this year. So the guy from Mariners, Cal Raleigh.
Yeah. Let me give you my 3 guys that are probably going to sprinkle some kind of cash on with their good friends at Hard Rock Bet. James Wood, Junior Caminero, and how can't you bet Cal Raleigh? I wish I could say his nickname on air. I don't think I'm allowed to say it, so
Yeah, you can.
I'm not going to say it though.
I'll say it. Big Dumper. You can say that on the air.
All right, you sure?
The dump truck, of course.
Yeah, he's unreal. Honestly, Mike Piazza-esque. I haven't seen a catcher hit like that since Mike Piazza watching baseball with my grandfather.
Ronald Acuna is going to be in the home run derby this year.
You know what? He's that Braves team is an absolute disgrace this year. But you look at his underlying numbers and his stats. He's played well. And he's one of those players where he could hit a home run and steal 2 bases in the same game. I wish Pete Crow Armstrong was in it. That's my favorite player in the league right now, Christian.
Really? He's number one?
PCA. He's on. So, little bias here. Christian, Peoria, the Chiefs are the affiliate. The South Bend Cubs were in town. And I remember my partner, Jimmy Matson, going, Riz, it's a big prospect there. I went right up to him, no fear. And he talked to me. Usually it's like, no, this guy gave me 15 minutes on an interview, and like the person, I forget what we call them. They're not SIDs. That's college. Regardless, the PR person like tried to come over to wrap it up, and Pete goes, no, I'm enjoying this. Gave me 5 more minutes.
Oh, nice.
Class act kid. Absolutely love the kid. God,
that would make you like the home run derby a little bit more.
With a little PCA. But James Wood is, listen, if you don't know who James Wood is, get on it.
Watch the home run derby.
Yeah, because he's going to hit probably 40 home runs this year, have 100 RBIs, about 30 stolen bases.
Do you like the home? We'll probably talk about this when we get closer to it.
Absolutely.
You like the home run derby with the clock?
I liked the outs. I'm old school. I remember Josh Hamilton at Yankee Stadium?
Sure, yeah.
That's like...
But I feel like for every one of those moments, we got a lot of bad. Didn't we? Like, the home run derby can be very anticlimactic.
Totally. And the outs thing, the clock works. It works.
Yeah, the first year of the clock, I think it was in Cincinnati, and I believe Todd Frazier was the Cincinnati Reds representation, so he was the hometown favorite, and it was a buzzer beater, essentially. He had to hit like 4 home runs in the last 30 seconds, and he did it. So it was a great introduction to putting a clock in the home run derby, so I liked it then for sure.
It works. I just remember, growing up watching Junior do it with the outs, and the Josh Hamilton one I think was the best one, but neither here nor there. Certainly can't wait for the home run derby. You know I love my baseball.
We've got one more to go.
Number 5.
And it strikes close to home. This happened in Wellington. Jessica Arua, a 29-year-old receptionist at
okay, we're close in age.
Yeah, Palm Beach Equine Clinic, was arrested on June 27th, 2025, last month, for allegedly keeping $400,000 that was mistakenly paid to her from February 2022 to January 2023 due to a payroll error by the payroll provider of that business. So this receptionist earns $60,000 annually. Nice little salary, does well for herself there.
Right.
But she received one of the veterinarians $450,000
so here's,
salary.
I have so many issues with this because number one, wouldn't that it took that veterinarian that long to go, oh, my paychecks are a little thin. Yeah. I would have known the first time that they were thin, I would have go, what the heck is going on here?
So the error went unnoticed until the vet who was supposed to be getting that money, the veterinarian's credit cards were declined.
Talk about just out of sight. I guess I can't. One day, Christian and I will be able to relate. When we make that much money one day, maybe we'll operate like that. We'll just keep swiping. It doesn't matter. I know I have the money. I'm just going to keep swiping. Christian, I am checking my bank account like a madman every single payday. I can't relate to this.
This happened over in Wellington, and the young lady who is being charged with these crimes, the charges specifically are grand theft of $100,000 or more, and money laundering of $100,000 or more. She remains in custody at Palm Beach's main detention center. What'd she do with the money, you might ask? The $450,000. Because this might change your opinion on the matter. It might change the opinion of the fans that are watching or listening to Russo and Rizzo. Well, she spent the extra $450,000 on luxury goods, restaurants, a food truck.
Jeez.
And she sent $100,000 to family in Argentina to build a house, and she believed that this was a bonus or a gift from God.
Unbelievable.
So, all the comments in this post are taking her side, actually.
Really?
They're saying, how is she going to face prison time or whatever it is for the grand theft? for the payroll company's mistake.
I don't think she should go to jail. Do you think she should go to jail? I think she should pay a fine.
If it was an extra $1,000, okay, Christmas bonus, hooray!
You're going to jail her? You're gonna put her in jail?
For lack of action sometimes is just as incriminating as action itself.
Fair enough.
And when it gets up to $450,000, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, you're probably onto something there.
So where does that number go? Because I said $1,000. That could be an honest mistake, and you keep the money, and that's totally fine. You should not be punished for that whatsoever.
Here's my issue. Who's the payroll person? They should never get a job in the business ever again. How did you mix up the receptionist and the woman who went to college for 30 years in the veterinarian? Those people are in college for 30 years. A friend of mine, obviously it's not 30 years, folks, it's exaggerating, but I have a friend who's still being a Colin. Christian, I'm 30. She's still in school.
Yeah, I didn't know veterinarians cleared $450,000. I guess for horses, maybe.
Is this? Oh, it's a horse?
Yeah, equine clinic.
Oh yeah, dude, horses are expensive. My auntie Lori, she had Mika. We used to ride Mika. When we were growing up. My mom's sister had horses, dude. To lodge one of those things at a barn, you better be making six figures, man.
But to be a receptionist for that barn,
maybe she does belong in jail. The more you talk to me about it, maybe
how much
she
money
does belong in jail.
How much
for her to go to the God card, a gift from God, is insanity. But
yeah,
So
I said $1,000. I said maybe for someone that's making $60,000 a year, if at the end of the year you randomly got $2,000, that's very permissible too. That could be a big bonus. Maybe you did a great job that year,
right?
And you're getting rewarded from your boss. $5,000. Now you're talking about percentage of how much you make per year. $5,000, you're getting up there. I think $5,000 is the limit.
Yeah, agreed.
To where they should not be punished whatsoever for keeping that money that was mistakenly put on their payroll. What's that number for you for someone making $60,000 a year?
If I saw money come into my account that I know for a fact is more than what I make, I probably would say something just to avoid it.
Anything.
Just to avoid. And you know what? Maybe they let you keep it.
That's true.
Maybe they, and honest to God, I know people are probably going, absolutely not. They're taking it, and they probably are taking it back. But I am that guy. I don't know. If I see anything like that, I'm definitely, I actually, it's funny you say that. When my first paycheck here was a lot bigger than when I was supposed to get paid, but I had to move. I had to do a bunch of stuff, and that's what they told me. That first paycheck was bigger because you were moving down here, you were switching jobs and whatever, and I got a bigger paycheck. So but I did ask our HR people, hey, thank you.
Something up.
Listen, what's going on here? Could use that now after spending $2,000 on that wedding. I'll tell you that. That was the 5 at 5 presented by our good friends at Flagler Credit Union. Folks, when we return, we'll take a couple of look at some future odds I got. As you know, we're, Colin and I both powered by Hard Rock Bet. That is your go-to sportsbook here down in Florida. But I certainly have a bunch of odds that I want to go through. Division odds, total. This is NFL and college football, by the way. So on the NFL side, odds to win the division, I got a couple of plays. Win totals, over-unders, got a couple of plays. And to make the playoffs. So that's the NFL side. And then college football, I got national championship odds, conference odds, and plenty more. But I mentioned our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. Download the app today because they got a lot of great stuff going on the app. Now, I am a huge football fan, huge soccer fan. We had the FIFA Club World Cup semifinal game. The final semifinal game just wrapped up. Was I a loser on this game? I was. But, Christian, I took Chelsea to win. This was the quarterfinals, by the way. Chelsea to win, PSG to win, and Real Madrid to win. I had plus 620 odds. I hit.
Bang.
I took it 5 days in advance, and I got those great odds. And there's, our poor, I say poor, our friend who left the paper trail at the horse company. I did an Instagram story with ESPN West Palm. So I'm always posting stuff on our social media platforms here at ESPN West Palm. Those were one of my plays I'm going to be making a play coming up this weekend, so make sure you're watching for that. I'm going to be betting the Inter-Miami game coming up on Saturday. Now, we do have an Inter-Miami game tonight. Feel free to take some action with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet there. I think you're going to get some great odds with Miami being on the road in New England. But I'm going to be betting the Saturday game, and you best believe I'm going to be betting the Cup final at the FIFA Club World Cup coming up at MetLife Stadium. But download the app today. It's our good friends at Hard Rock Bet, offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in the state of Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you're concerned about gambling, call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. It's 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Tell you what, if you've been in MetLife Stadium, we might call it Meth Life Stadium around the area. It's not very nice in East Rutherford.
I cannot believe the Cup final is played there. So Hard Rock,
the best foot forward from America, huh?
No, Hard Rock. They changed the grass to the football grass. And Mercedes-Benz Stadium did the same thing. I definitely thought this thing was going to be in Hard Rock and or Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz. Christian, how about this? The FIFA World Cup, when the countries come next year,
yeah.
The finals at MetLife as well.
Oh, disgusting.
Dude, that place is a dump. Christian, I feel bad for saying it. I've never been, and I call it a dump. But like anybody I talk to says that place is disgusting. Why can't New York figure out a new place to... It's New York, New York. It's the best city in the world. Why the hell are we...
Yeah.
What's going on there?
As someone from the state of New York, let's get rid of Central Park. Let's industrialize it. Let's make it our sports area.
People would riot, right?
That's okay. People riot anyway. They just add it to the list.
Correct.
So, like, I would uproot a lot of the stuff at Central Park if the Yankees played in the middle of Manhattan. That'd be pretty sick.
Christian, I just, like... It's the mecca of all meccas, New York City, for basketball, for baseball, football. It's New York, New York. As much as I can't stand it growing up in Cleveland and the sports teams, the city's amazing. It's New York, New York, for God's sakes. Can we figure out a dome? Can we figure out something?
Yeah, it's like, the old expression, I don't bleep where I eat. It's like New York plays their sports outside of the state of New York, and it's infuriating.
It's insane.
In Jersey, of all places. New Jersey.
Unbelievable.
We make fun of Jersey. We look down on Jersey. But that's where we play our sports, and that's maddening.
It's crazy. And, like, I'm assuming, Christian, a lot of politics involved. We're not going to get into all that here, folks, but I'm assuming, like, mayors and politicians and the whole 9 yards would have to come. But it's insanity to me. New York hosts these events. They send them to New Jersey at turf that my father played on in the 80s when he was playing football, okay?
And you can't even fill your own tank with gas.
Yeah.
They got to do it for you. That's the law in Jersey. Did you know that? Yeah. You can't fill your own tank with gas.
So.
Yeah, there are gas station attendants that you pull up, you got to wait in line for, and they fill your gas tank for you.
Listen,
is it news to you?
News to me. I know there are a lot of wonderful people that are from New Jersey, okay? But here's people joke around with me in the office and say my hometown, Cleveland, is the armpit of America. But I actually did search it on Google, and do you want to know what came up?
What?
Jersey.
They've got like that certified nickname.
It's like, that's like, the butt to the joke. But anyway. Folks, we got to take a time out. When I come back, when we come back, we'll wrap up the show. I'll give you a couple of those Hard Rock plays I was mentioning on the NFL side and the college football side. Keep it locked in right here. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
Wing Wednesday. Brought to you by Hurricane Grill and Wings. 30 bold flavors, ice cold beer, handcrafted cocktails. Your home for sports is Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet, home of Inter Miami, Miami Heat, and the Miami Dolphins. Catch all the action and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 1063. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sports book. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida, must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida. Wager terms and conditions apply. Considered by gambling. Call 1-888-ADMIT.
Marlins Con is back at the ballpark. On July 18th, Pokemon Go Night is leveling up with all new Pokestops, gyms, and raid battles so traders can play from anywhere in the ballpark. Plus, score a limited edition t-shirt customized to match your team. Then on July 20th, unleash your inner hero for X-Men 97 Day and grab an exclusive Marlins Wolverine jersey. Don't miss any of the action. Get your tickets now at marlins.com/themes.
Breaking news on ESPN 1063 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 1063 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 1063 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 1063 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Don't let the rising temperatures catch you off guard. Hey, it's Colin Russo, and since 1960, John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing has proudly served Palm Beach County, keeping homes cool and comfortable. Now's the time to upgrade your AC with great financing options. Plus, ask about the Cassidy Care Club, providing year-round peace of mind. Cassidy is part of our local community and supports organizations like the YMCA and the Palm Beach Gardens Youth Athletic Association. Keep cool with Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Find out more at CassidyAC.com.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
What would you do with an extra $700? You can earn up to $700 per year with Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Boost Checking pays 7.0 annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's up to $700 extra to do what you love. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, proud partner of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve.
That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Get your free case review right now. We'll help you take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
The weather is heating up and summer is here. Stay cool with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in sports, not in your home. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the name you can trust since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today. Game day comfort starts now. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Final segment of Russo and Rizzo. Colin Russo back in studio coming up tomorrow before his big, I guess I'm calling it spiritual journey to Machu Picchu. Christian, you got any trips planned? You got any vacation time planned?
Yeah, I'm going to Texas. I'll be out on Friday, and the second half of Russo and Rizzo tomorrow because I'm going to AEW All In, baby.
Yep, I forgot. Hour number 2, I'm on the board of Russo and Rizzo coming up tomorrow. Looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to you. Is your girlfriend going? This is your thing, right?
It's a fellas trip.
Oh, okay.
Me and the boy Salati.
Listen, I know she likes AEW. That's why I asked. Right? She's an AEW fan.
I am buying
She doesn't like WWE, but she likes AEW.
Yep, I'm buying the pay-per-view for her, setting it up so that she can turn it on Saturday and watch along. You're going to see Adam Hangman Page beat John Moxley in the main event.
You know what, Christian? You're a heck of a guy, man. After golfing with you, if you dealing with me golfing today and you doing that, if you're going above and beyond for your girl mate, heck of a guy.
Yeah, above and beyond. Not above and beyond enough to invite her, though.
It's a guy's trip.
It's a limit.
It's a guy's trip. You guys live together. Spend plenty of time together.
Yeah, my friend is hosting me. A long time, both like elementary school friends that grew up down the road from me, and he now lives in Texas. So he's going to pick me up from the airport tomorrow night and all that. And I'm excited to eat. I'm excited to eat in Texas because that's one of the. It's like I'm going there for the event. And I'm going there to have the taste of the area.
Yep. I got to see my sister in Dallas. It's such a disgrace that I've not been to that city yet, and it's. Christian, to make matters worse, some of my best mates I met at OU, at Ohio University, they moved there immediately after school. Christian, I'm 30. I still haven't been there. And they're still there. And they go, your sister's here, and you haven't even been here. You're a disgrace. I said, you guys visit me in Florida. It's fine. Been out here a year. You've been here twice. Don't worry about it.
Let's make some money in college and pro football.
Yes. So, folks, I had a couple of plays. Specifically, I want to start in the NFL. Because when I say plays, with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet, download the app, open up the app, you can follow along, click on the NFL tab, and go to division odds, okay? Tampa Bay's plus 100 to win that division. I took that the moment I saw it. I was talking this with our content director and boss, Brian Rowitz. The Panthers, the Saints, the Falcons. That's what's in their division, and Tampa Bay's getting plus money. We talked to Mike Tannenbaum yesterday, and he said Tampa Bay probably should be thinking about competing for a Super Bowl next year. Hammer that plus 100 with Baker Mayfield, that defense with Todd Bowles.
I like it.
So that's my play on the division side. I'm falling in the bear trap.
Literally.
Second year in a row.
Your ankle snatched.
Second year in a row. That's how
Bone
you know.
Crunch.
How you know I did radio in Illinois for 3 years. 8.5. Bears winning 11 games, baby. Ben Johnson.
They're giving you a plus sign next to those odds, too.
Plus 115.
No vig, all juice.
Plus 115, 8.5. So 9 wins for the Bears. Do you want to know another juicy one? I didn't have enough you-know-what to take it. The Seahawks at 8.5.
You like their...
Over. It's a tough division, though. Do you think San Francisco... The reason I didn't take it, you think San Francisco is going to be better? The Rams are plus 180 to win that division. So, I don't know.
You're buying stock in Sam Darnold if you want to take the over for the Seahawks. I don't want to do that. In fact, I did not know the number was that high. I'm going to take the under on that.
You're going to take the under. I think they're a better team than they were last year. And last year, if my memory serves me correct, they won 10 games. They did. National championship odds. Christian, where do you think your Penn State Nittany Lions are?
I think I know they're fourth, plus 650.
That's how you know you're a fan. It's good odds. It's the best odds, I think, on there. Similar to Ohio State and Michigan, the two teams who won the last 2 championships, veteran team, veteran quarterback, a coach similar to Ryan Day. All he needs to do is win the big one and win the whole doggone thing. I mean, is this not a spitting image of what Harbaugh did, of what Day just did? Is this going to be 3 years? I don't know. Listen, there are a lot of questions in the Big Ten. We'll talk more about this stuff as we get more into college football. But, folks, 650 for Penn State, pretty crazy. This has been Russo and Rizzo. Sometimes friends have to go away, but a part of them stays with you forever. Remember that in this life. We'll be back tomorrow. Colin back in studio. We'll say farewell to Christian in hour number 2.
For a stress-free move, choose Safebound Moving and Storage. Florida's #1 movers. With a solid reputation, we set the standard for excellence.